pretty friend. Who are you? Oh, jumpy boy. Yikes. Cirque du Soleil. Anyone else seeing a Furby?
Hello, Bobby.
Created a monster.
Testing the Jackery and testing its 12-volt capabilities. I bought some parts to wire it into a DC fuse box to then distribute it to the various appliances in the camper. As long as we don't exceed the 10 amps, we should be able to power anything we need to. So right now, we've got it wired out of the Jackery into this fuse box here, and then through the fuses into this 12-volt outlet, which goes to the fan that's running currently. These two wires here, which go to the house lighting system, which are 2 of the 3 are currently on up there. This wiring is going to a 12-volt car jack port, and it has a quick charge dual USB port that can be turned on and off. It's currently on, and it's currently charging my phone. Right now, everything on the 2 lights, the fan is on somewhat low, and my phone charging is pulling 18 watts. Welcome back. It's a new day here at the camper. Today we're going to be dealing with the jacks for the camper and getting them ready to put back on. Here you can see the extended jacks that go on the corners of the camper. The other day Dad did a ton of work on these, sanding and priming them, which was extremely helpful. And now today we're going to treat them with some OSPHO, which is a rust inhibitor, and it also turns the rust into a sort of protective coating apparently. The top of these jacks have already been primed, but the bottoms are pretty rusty, so we're going to give them a coating of this and let it sit for 24 hours, and hopefully that'll help with the rust. Today we're doing some final touches on the corners of the camper before we put the actual jack brackets back on and finish off these corners. What we're doing is basically sealing them off, some of these with butyl tape, some of them with caulk, some with both, and stapling them back on, and then they'll be ready to reapply the corner brackets. Speaking of corner brackets, here they are. Dad had the idea of a much more secure bracket that would actually have this little bottom corner so it tucks under the edge of the camper, and the old ones were in pretty rough shape, so he had a local welder put these together for us. These should be a lot stronger than the old ones are, and just a little bit safer too. Starting to frame out the cabinets. Yesterday we piddled a little bit with getting the, that sounds weird. Yesterday we did a tiny bit of work to start on the cabinets, but today it is finally the day. It's gonna be sunny for a little bit before it starts raining, and we're gonna start building the cabinets. Let's just get right into it. Here's what I got done last night, which was basically framing out this propane box, and then I'm going to put a piece of plywood this way. And as you saw, I did a lot of drafting on SketchUp just to get some good ideas. Although those dimensions are as close to accurate as I can make them, there's always going to be little discrepancies, so I'm just going to have to measure everything out as I go. But I'll use that SketchUp as a blueprint for what I'm doing here. What are you working on, Ricky? Ricky has been drawing out a plan for the fuse box from the Jackery. That's cool. Nice job. Well, we just sold the old AC unit and got $300 in cash, so that's money we can put back into the camper build. If you didn't see on the other video, we also sold the old fridge for $250. We sold the old fridge for either $250 or $200, I already forgot. Making money off the old stuff, bringing in the new stuff. Well, we're stopping for lunch, but before we do that, we're gonna pull one of our first carrots from the garden for the season.
Oh, you get a real carrot, huh?
What?
Oh, it's a dinky little thing. Well,
oh, but we love you.
It'll be a little snack.
Enough to eat you.
You might think that we were very disappointed by that carrot, but I don't care at all. We're doing a little test fitting of the cabinets, but I figured I'd show you how they're going to look so far. So basically this little corner over here is going to be the electrical area. We'll have the Jackery sitting right there, which will be wired into the fuse box, which is going to be mounted down below. And in this overhang here, the water from the water tank, the hose is going to run up, back behind the propane, underneath the propane area, and then out to the little exit hole right there. The solar is going to be coming in from that other hole and running down this way and then up to the Jackery. This area is where the fridge will go. It'll have the nice vent behind it so it can circulate air over the compressor, and it'll have a hole in this back panel which will allow the 12-volt cord to drop down and plug in to an outlet that's going to be mounted down there. And this area is yet to be built, but it'll essentially be a big countertop, vertical separator, drawers on this side, and cabinet space underneath the sink on that side.
Just want to show you what it can look like to deal with camper building. So that's the top here. So we found out the wall cants outwards. Even though this is flush here, there's like a ½ inch difference at the base. So we're gonna sand the bottom portion a little bit until it can be level here for our cabinets.
Lucy, did you finish those dimensions for me? Oh yeah, good job, good work.
What'd you call me?
So what I was doing last night is actually routing the wiring for the fan through the roof and out this hole right here. When I was installing the fan, I saw this hole in the side of the roof, and I looked into it and it extended basically all the way straight to where these wires are. Rather than having this little stick-on mount that the wires run underneath on the ceiling, we could actually just route the wires through that old hole in the roof and pop them out and run them down this little sleeve so that we can power the fan. I have this wire sticking out of the hole so I can run these other wires and then use this wire to pull them through. And that's what I'm about to do. It's so chilly and nice that last night Tara and I slept in the camper in the driveway for the first time. It's going to be really fun having this thing on the road. It really got me excited to get out there and start adventuring.